Now, speed and alcohol continue to be a problem with motorists and pedestrians. This is according to the Road Traffic Management Corporation, or RTMC. Over 37,000 speeding tickets have been issued across South Africa since the start of the festive season. But to talk to us as to how things are looking, we're joined now by the corporation's spokesperson, Zwane. Zwane, good morning to you and thank you so much for coming through.
Good morning and thank you for having us.
Well, it looks like human behavior is still an issue. Drunken driving, speeding, these are the things that we talk about on an annual basis. It sort of has become an annual song now.
Yeah, human behavior continues to be a very big problem. I think it contributes more than 70% of all the accidents that we have on the roads. But largely this year, we think that we have seen an improvement if we consider the numbers of vehicles that had traveled and the number of incidents that we have had. And we are very hopeful that by the end of this period, we should come up with a different outcome.
Yeah, but if you're saying you're sort of seeing a decrease in the situation, in terms of numbers, how much are we looking into? Because I listened to an interview, the CEO of RTMC was one of our, on one of our SABC radio stations saying that they're very worried. Numbers are looking high.
The numbers are still high. We will come down from a very high base though. We believe that we will be able to see some difference, but it will still be from a very high base.
But are you able to give us provisional numbers, maybe, stats?
Now, the minister will release the full stats. Look, we're still having a long weekend that's coming, starting from today. A weekend that is also associated with end of the year. There will be end of the year parties and festivities, and that is going to be risky. And there's still, you see, as you can see in the weather, it's still raining in many parts of the country, and that poses a risk. Yeah. But the behavior of motorists, Palisa, if you consider that we have had 3 long weekends really, the 16th, around the 16th, but not only a weekend, we also had a national conference that went incident-free. We had the Christmas long weekend. We didn't have major incidents. The problems that we've had have been within the boundaries of major cities and municipalities. That's where many pedestrians are dying. And that's where the focus is going to be this weekend, to ensure that we bring down the numbers of pedestrians that are dying. It's really unacceptable.
What plans do you have?
There will be intensified law enforcement within the municipal boundaries. As people go to the end of the year parties, they're going to the beachfront and all of that, we will be out there to ensure that there is safety on the roads. And we are asking people to make at least one change as they go to these events. If you are used to driving yourself there, take a taxi for a change, and we will be able to reduce the number of vehicles on the road, but we'll also be able to reduce incidents and accidents on the roads.
And in terms of law enforcement officers, are they visible enough?
They are visible enough. I think we've stopped 900,000 vehicles on the roads since the start of the festive season, and tested more than 100,000 drivers for alcohol. And out of that, we have arrested more than 2,000 who were above the alcohol limits. And there have been many other traffic fines issued for speeding, driving without license, overloading, and driving unlicensed vehicles.
Well, I drove from Bloemhof to Johannesburg on Boxing Day. I did not even come across one traffic officer on the road. So in terms of police visibility, and it was my worry because the traffic volumes were very high. I think it was between Potchefstroom and Johannesburg, and there was not even one traffic officer on that road on Boxing Day, which is a holiday. People coming back from the long weekend, and that's the N12.
Now we will look into that. Maybe they were within the municipal areas. We had identified Bujanala as an area where many pedestrians were dying, and maybe they had concentrated within the boundaries of that. But we will look into that.
Yeah, and as you say, Bojanala is one of the municipalities that have been identified by the RTMC. You've also identified Johannesburg, Cape Town and Capricorn in Limpopo as well.
Yes, we've identified those as municipalities where there's been a high number of pedestrians that were dying. And there are plans to deal with that situation this weekend and going forward to the end of the festive season.
And in terms of, obviously we cannot ignore that there are law enforcement officers who still take bribes if the vehicles are not roadworthy, or if they come across any other drivers not obeying the road of the rules. Are you winning that battle?
Look, you don't eat an elephant in one swallow. You take it one piece at a time. We are dealing with that issue. Because
I would believe it's contributing. If my car is not roadworthy and I'm able to pay a bribe, then that's a problem.
Now we are dealing with that issue. You would know that in the past, even yesterday, we arrested 4 vehicle examiners from a privately owned roadworthy testing center, and they were selling basically the roadworthy certificates for vehicles that are not roadworthy. And we've arrested them. They appeared in court. In this period of the festive season, altogether there have been 28 people arrested. So it's an issue that is receiving attention. It's not going to be an overnight success, but it requires sustained attention throughout the year, and that's what we are doing.
The issue of rude behavior of motorists towards traffic officers. Surely you've seen videos doing the rounds of drivers trying to fight with your law enforcement officers. Are you dealing with that? Because it looks like it's surely slowly becoming a problem.
It seems to be becoming a problem this festive season. Last week there was an incident in Kiani where a drunken driver also beat up a female traffic officer. And in Cape Town there was a young boy who was driving drunk and collided with a traffic officer. The traffic officer is still in hospital. It's unacceptable. We condemn that kind of thing in the strongest terms possible. People must know that traffic officers are like policemen. They have powers of arresting you on the spot. But like policemen, they also carry firearms, which they can use when they are under attack. People should not take them for granted because they are called traffic officers. No one wants to be interfered with when they are on duty and doing their work. So traffic officers should also not be undermined when they are doing their work.
And in terms of, you get people who prefer driving at night. You get taxis that prefer taking their passengers to their different destinations at night. Do you have late night operations for those who are avoiding law enforcement officers on the roads?
We do. Our plan is for a 24/7 operations. But we do discourage people from driving at night because that's when we experience the highest number of accidents. At night between the hours of 9 and 12 and early hours of the morning. So we do discourage people from driving at those times.
But they still do. At the end of the day, they still do.
Yeah, they still do. But
more so with those that are driving on roadworthy vehicles.
Yes, because they think they're trying to evade law enforcement, and that is why we said 24/7. We should be around the clock, should be on the roads.
All right, let's talk about the plans for New Year's Eve celebrations into the new year as well.
Yes, we have plans for the new year. Make sure that this not only for the New Year's Eve, but for the entire long weekend, starting today until the 2nd, to make sure that those who are going to end of the year parties, there is respect for the rules of the road for those, and those who will be coming back at the end of the new year. We will still be on the roads to ensure that there is safety. We remain on the roads until the opening of schools.
All right.
But actually we will be on the roads even as the people go to the ANC end of the year, to the ANC's January 8 statement. We'll still be around to ensure that there's safety around.
We'll leave it at that for now. Thank you so much for coming through.
compliments of the new season.
Simon Zwane is the spokesperson to the Road Traffic Management Corporation, talking to us about the state of affairs as we are still in the festive season. Of course, over 37,000 speeding tickets have been issued, and the issue of drunken driving and speeding is still a major concern for them. All right, we're taking a break here on Morning Live. Relationships under the spotlight.